women, when you castrate them, they can't reproduce. They
Yeah.
just work, and die. That is why most of the slaves that was taken into the Asians, into the Arab lands, we can't find them now.
Okay.
Because you won't even get women to marry with. The moment you are a slave, sex is out of your life. So I'm robbing you to pay you. This is not robbing
Need to
Peter to pay
pay.
Paul.
Wow.
I'm robbing Peter to pay
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
So they've taken they've imposed taxes on you, take your money, pay,
Use the money to buy from you.
use the money to buy from you.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew.
Welcome to Kinside TV. The program is Money Mindset and Psychology. Today we are going to discuss about African development during colonialism. We are looking at a series of this topic, African development in colonialism before and after. And with me is Mr. Abubakar Mohammed. He's a researcher, currently doing his PhD, so soon he will be addressed as a doctor. And then he's also economics and also financial analyst. If you need anyone for one-on-one consultation, you can contact him. If you need him, just let me know at the comment section and then I'll connect him with you. Mr. Abu, welcome.
Thank you very much, Anochi. Anytime we are discussing some of this, I tell you, I really enjoy these discussions because
Yeah,
I enjoy talking about Africa, what we've been through, what we have seen, and it tells you what Africa really has to offer. And
yeah,
I really enjoy this. So, the past few episodes we've talked about before colonialism, we have talked about how Africa was great
yeah,
before we were colonized, the greatness of Africa. Now, let's talk about what colonialism actually brought.
yeah,
Today will be more fun as we are going. It will be more fun, and today doesn't promise to be any different. It will be more fun like it used to be. So,
okay,
thank you for the platform, and
yeah,
welcome to anybody who is listening to us. Let's engage each other. Let's comment. Let's share. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Africa. Yeah.
yeah, because we need to make African great
Yes.
again. And then
Yes.
there,
Africa
are-
must
there,
be
are-
great again.
there are things that we need to know about Africa
Yes.
and what people are saying about Africa, which is not true. We have to let them know, and it's you and me who can do that. And
Yeah.
it's good to be part of this discussion. So, my brother,
Yeah.
let's start. I think we have talked
Okay.
about colonialism
Yeah.
before, development before
Yeah. Before,
colonialism. Now,
so
let's talk about within
the last
colonialism.
few episodes we talked about before
Yeah,
how we were kingdoms, how we had empires. Whilst when Africa was thriving with its own resources, we have
yeah,
kingdoms and that we were thriving in our own way. Now the white man arrives,
yeah,
um, Western man. So let's first talk about the. We can't talk about colonialism without talking about slave trade.
yeah,
So as a continent, when we started falling when we started having international arrangements,
Mm-hmm.
international markets with people who come from other continents. So we see that in the Eastern Africa, where Eastern and Northern Africa, where we have the Kush, the Nubians, the Northern to East Africa had were closer to Asia, the Arabia. So when the
Yeah.
Arabs started their Arab slave trade, that is where they first went to. And outside too, when the um, the fourth industrial revolution started, when the steam engine started, and when the they discovered the new continent, that's the Americas, the new
Yeah.
lands, the Western powers, kingdoms of Portugal, kingdoms of Spain, the Englishmen, when they discovered the new lands in the Americas. Now, the because at that time coincided with the Industrial Revolution, where the steam engine has been found. You let's first
Okay.
talk about when they discovered the new lands. They needed new hands to work with because they have plantations in the Americas. They have um yeah, there are plantations. Even the shipments are becoming too many. They needed new hands
Yeah.
to work with. And where did they turn to? They turn here.
Okay.
Before then, the Arab slave trade was also flourishing. And for that part, aside being about farm work, it was not about too many aggressive farm work, but rather it was for home maintenance.
Okay.
So most of even the men were home taking care of the wives and the children.
Okay.
So that is why currently we don't even have a lot of evidence for the Arab slave trade because the Arab slave trade was very brutal
Mm-hmm.
to the extent that the Arab man wants to use you as the person to take care of the house because he wants to be somewhere taking care of his business. So what
Yeah.
they do is that they castrated a lot of the slaves. So slave men, when you castrate them, they can't reproduce. They
Yeah.
just work, and die. That is why those most of the slaves that was taken into the Asians, into the Arab lands, we can't find them now
Okay.
because you won't even get women to marry with. The woman to a slave, sex is out of your life.
Okay.
But in the Americas, the Western colonization, colonial Western slave trade, European slave trade system was very brutal too. It was no less brutal. It was very brutal. But for them, they allowed reproduction.
Yeah.
But slaves were having children because the moment you are born into slavery, your children, your wife, everybody are all slaves. So the
Yeah.
moment we buy you, if you have children, if you have your children are automatically slaves.
Slaves.
So they use
Th-
that.
This interesting.
So um history says that at first they tried using indentured labor, people who owes the white men, those who owe them in Europe, they will take them to the new land to work and pay
Mm-hmm.
off the. But because of they couldn't survive the weather there, some of the sickness, smallpox and stuff, they couldn't survive there. So most of the people were dying easily.
Okay.
But our ancestors were strong men. They were surviving there. and that is why they were coming back for a lot more of us.
Okay.
Now, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on slavery, because the reason for that time, uh, the reason why the slave trade survived and flourished was that at that time too, most of the empires has fallen, so the rest kingdoms are smaller in nature,
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
we were a lot of infighting, a lot of fights, and yeah, a lot of chaos in the system. So if I come and fight your kingdom and we defeat you, most of your people will be sold into slavery. And even when there is a two rival factions fighting
Yeah.
over uh, maybe a vacant chief, a stool, or yeah, a chieftaincy.
Mm-hmm.
When one of them gains the upper hand and becomes the legitimate chief, it means that the rest, the other party, we have to find a way of dealing with you.
Dealing with them.
So most of your family will be sold into slavery and others. That's about it.
Okay.
So in the end, somewhere in the 1880s, yeah, the middle of the 19th century, there was the industrial boom. There was discovery of the steam engine. The steam
Okay.
engine, in the sense that now production can be done on mass basis,
Okay.
mass production. The engines have been now used in cars, in the industries and others. Now, the white man's industry doesn't need people, but they need raw materials.
Raw material.
And that is what birthed colonialism. So around the ending of the 18th, we realized that slavery was abolished. Slave
Yeah.
trade was first abolished, and slavery also abolished later. And around that time, you see that colonization was gaining grounds, especially after
Yeah.
the Berlin Conference. You understand?
Yeah.
After the Berlin Conference, where the European powers met, that's 1884 to 1885. It was a meeting over a year where the powers in Europe met to carve up Africa. Because when slave trade was happening, they realized that they were fighting among themselves over territories. Those
Oh, yeah.
Europeans, this one will fight over this one. So, okay, let's have a meeting and divide the land amongst ourselves. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they sat down to divide. So if you could see that after that, they have divided this. So the British power came back to Ghana to have a bond with the coastal states,
Yeah.
the bond of 1844, so that
Yeah.
could bring all of them under him. To have officially, we have Gold Coast as a colony,
Yeah.
right? So that they could fight any other tribe that is coming for them. For them, they thought it was a protectorate. They were going to the white man to help them protect them against the bigger power, the Ashantis and other bigger
The
powers.
Ashantis. Yeah.
But they didn't know it was a way where the white man is trying to corner them under his rule.
Yeah.
So if you could see around that time, the Europe was booming and the mass productions, big factories were starting, and they needed the raw materials. So that is where colonization really took shape. Not to say that the white man was not here before that. They were here before that. but that is where it was really institutionalized.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take it one by one from economic development to our infrastructure to education to health to cultural. So first of all, let's talk about economic development.
Okay.
So for economic development, you could see that in 2024, the winner the currently the winner of the economics Nobel Prize
Mm-hmm.
is actually a paper they wanted to see how institutions shape differences in economic development and inequality in development across the world.
Yeah.
There were three people who won the award together: Achimoglu, Robinson, and Johnson,
Okay.
and they tried to understand why, if you come to this world, Europe and the Western countries are rich, Africa is poor. You understand?
Yeah.
Southeast Asia, all this are poor. And they first realized that it's about institutions, how the current institutions work, laws and things. But if institutions are the factor, why? Because when the white man came here, he realized that wherever in the world, the white man decided to leave where they were to move to other places to get resources to come and feed their industry.
Yeah.
But wherever they go and they could settle there, wherever they go, and the weather was fine, everything, they were not hostile and they could settle there, they established very good institutions for them to live there as their home.
Yeah.
So they were able to put down good structures in place. But some places they went and they realized that they couldn't live there. They go there and they were dying.
Okay.
They were getting malaria. Even the people were too hostile. They were having too many wars between the people. They couldn't defeat the people. So at that place, they put in place extractive laws so that they
Mm-hmm.
get whatever they can, so then they go.
Okay.
So the structures they put in place at those places are not good.
Mm-hmm.
And those structures have grown into now.
Okay.
So if you could see, when they went to Australia, they could settle there.
Yeah.
The people were not hostile to them a lot. And the weather was quite okay, like them.
Yeah.
So they settled with them.
Okay.
They made Australia like Europe.
Okay.
But when they came to Africa, one, we were fighting them. Two, our weather was hostile to them. They were getting sicknesses and some diseases they couldn't even explain. Before they come here, they were supposed to go and take vaccines before they even come, else they would die.
Yeah.
So they didn't get the time to put the structures in place in most parts of Africa.
Okay.
So even in Africa, when you go to South Africa, where they could settle with them better, they had better institutions in place there than, let's say, Ghana or Nigeria. They couldn't settle well here.
Yeah, because South African weather is most closely like Europe.
Yes. So they were able to settle better there. So they didn't take most of their resources away to Europe. They took their resources and managed it there. But where
Okay.
they couldn't settle a lot. They made sure that they did something, some weird structure in place, get what you want, and go.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
it made sense. They won the Nobel Prize in economics for, I think, 2024. We all applauded them. That is
Wow.
why I first made this introduction. My introduction is getting long. So extraction. So you could see that in Ghana, or in many parts of the Africa, they came and concentrate on the mining,
Yeah.
gold, copper, diamond. They were just extracting them. Go to Zambia, go to South Africa. Zambia, copper. South Africa, gold. So if you come to Ghana, our first railway system was designed by the white man.
Okay.
And the rail system designed in this in A form. Okay.
Okay.
It merges in Kumasi. They weren't seeing any gold up north. So they didn't
Yeah.
need any gold, any railway to the north. They have one from Kumasi. They get gold in Ashanti region, Obuasi and stuff. Kumasi pass
Yeah.
through Obuasi to the western region to the Takrade port.
Mm-hmm.
So Kumasi, Obuasi, Takwa, out to the Takrade port.
Mm-hmm.
They have some from Kumasi through the eastern region up to Accra
Accra
Harbor.
Port.
You understand? And they have a very small one that cuts between its A shape. So you could see that even the railway line was designed to take your resources away.
Yeah, because I was reading something about it, and I found that they only constructed railways to the areas, and then the roads to
The
the
areas
areas
that
that
have
they were
resources,
getting
yes,
good.
the areas they thought had the resources they need. And it was the gold, manganese in the western region to the
Yeah,
Takrade port, away, and this one's down here.
cash
That's how
crops.
it was done. So resource extraction. Two, cash
So
crop
that means
economy.
it wasn't their intention to develop the country.
No, that's where I'm coming. That's my conclusion.
Okay.
Okay. The colonial system had nothing in their mind to develop the base economy here.
Mm-hmm.
And even all their policies were not done to address any issues here.
Okay.
The colonial head is the governor. The governor reports to the king or queen at which country they are coming from. For our
Okay.
case, they report to the Queen of England. So when
England.
England, the factories need more cocoa to do chocolate, they will come here, force our people to do more cocoa.
Okay.
So the growing of cocoa or the crops you grow here was not to address any problem you were finding here. It's not like
Okay.
Ghanaians needed more chocolate. That's why we were drinking. We are doing more cocoa. We are
Uh,
doing more cocoa to feed someone's economy because they need it.
economy.
You understand? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
the colonial war, they are going to war. They need to produce more ammunition. Okay. So there's silver and maybe the iron and copper down here. They will come extract it, make sure you people extract it for them. It's a very low cost and they take it away.
Okay.
So that is the structure. So let's see the
So
cash crop economy.
so that is why they weren't any producing factories within Africa. Because they
Exactly,
were
because
producing all the this thing in
whatever you
Europe.
produce, it is not for you. That's why I'm
Okay.
going to the cash crop economy. Before colonization, before the white man came, Ghanaians, I don't think we were growing cocoa in large scales,
Yeah.
right? It is the white man's economy, the white man who eats chocolate. We don't know what chocolate is.
Yeah.
So they shifted us from subsistence agriculture that my father and my grandfather was growing cassava, yam, and vegetables, the things we eat here, right? The things we use here. Those
Mm-hmm.
were but the white man came and shifted some of them from to cash crop production. So cocoa in Ghana, when you go to Sudan, it was cotton.
Yeah.
Grow cotton for us to go. Let us go and feed our textile industry. When you go to Nigeria, they were most of them were forced to grow groundnuts. Okay,
Mhm.
so if you look at one of Dangote's paternal grandfathers, he was the champion of groundnut farm in
Mhm.
northern Ghana those days in the colonial era. When you go to East Africa, you see that they were growing tea and coffee. So
Okay.
even till now, when you go to Ethiopia, Kenya, tea, coffee, you understand? So that was what shifted our economies to the vulnerabilities of the global market.
Mhm.
Now, whatever you grow depends on the price the colonial master will give you.
Okay. So per what you are saying, I just check internet and the cocoa. We all know that Tekwesi brought cocoa to Ghana, and it was
Because at first,
eight. It was in 1892.
so you could see that our economies in in Africa became dependent on whatever happens in Europe.
In Europe.
Because the Sudanese man is now not growing to serve Sudan. The Ghanaian farmer is now not growing to serve Ghana. You understand? The
Yeah.
Nigerian farmer is now not growing to serve Nigeria. So even all the industries that was dependent on agriculture are now have now been open to global shocks. Whatever happens
Mhm.
in the European market shakes that place too. Because now they are determining your
Okay.
price. If you are growing tea and coffee, it is what the what price they give you that you go with. You have no even chance of what they got negotiating. And the price they give you depend whether they made profit or they didn't.
And let me ask you this question. Was it that we didn't know the importance of cocoa, coffee, and cotton? That's why we couldn't negotiate, or what?
We a simple economics. We didn't need them. Even currently, we
Okay.
don't need them. We don't use them. What's the typical African breakfast? I'm asking you.
Yeah. The tropical one is, for example, in Ghana, you just get your solid food and you
You
are
go
okay to
away.
go.
So what percentage of Ghanaians drink Milo?
Okay.
What percentage of Ghanaians use cocoa butter cream on their skin as
Oh,
compared to maybe other skins? What
yeah,
what what
but
percentage of Ghanaians use yes cocoa drink or maybe
yeah.
chocolate? It's urbanization that's doing us so. Maybe westernization.
Okay.
But if you go to the villages, I don't think anybody will wake up in the morning and say I'm going to buy cocoa drink and even the fraction of cocoa in our meal setup could be very, very negligible.
Okay.
But when you go
Okay.
to the Western countries, who uses them? They use it. In the morning, they do the cocoa drinks.
They
Hmm?
have their breakfast, tea and
They
cafe and
use
stuff.
they use for pomades or the skin creams, right? They eat the
Okay.
chocolates.
Okay. So
So who
clearly,
benefits?
yeah. So that means clearly, even looking at now, as we are talking, we don't even need those stuff as we
No,
are saying.
no.
And
Yes.
looking at somewhere 1890
Yes. Yes.
thereabouts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I could understand that's why they couldn't bargain for any budget, then they let them
Yes.
took
Yes.
it like that.
Because our economy currently it is not too different from what Gordon Gettysburg built in the 18th.
Okay,
It is just a continuation of what was built by the colonial system. So that is why we will come after colonial Africa after colonialism. So you that is where we are coming from.
okay,
So after when we get to the after colonialism discussions, you understand some of these explanations.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm. So see our crop industry. Cote d'Ivoire, they were made to do a lot of rubber.
yeah,
Rubber has been used to produce a lot of things. But ask yourself, before the white man came, and before they made us produce those things in large scale, and their system made those people who produce those things millionaires.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It gave them
exactly.
money. So people here in Kumasi, let's cast our mind back to where we all come from. In
Yeah,
Kumasi, the Koko Ekuyafour was the people building big
yeah.
lines,
Big
big
houses.
houses. Koko Ekuyafour, Aban Beto Koko. So everybody was doing Koko, neglecting what we need as Africans. What do we
Yeah,
need? You see, if we had invested in ourselves and innovated on our own terms,
okay.
we will see what we will need that will develop on ourselves and then we will develop on our own terms. For instance, if we had also studied, done our own research, and come up with an industry that uses cassava on a
Yeah,
very large scale as its uh, raw material,
raw material.
and all the lands that we are using to plant cocoa are rather being used to produce cassava, and that thing we are producing is being used by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
What will happen?
Yeah, the economy will
We will
start.
develop on our own terms because
Yeah.
we are producing the thing and we are giving it a price on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we do now? We are focusing on what the white man demands. So if the white man wakes up today and says they don't want cocoa, all our cocoa farms will become pure nonsense
Yeah,
because they consume it and the raw materials always goes to them. We have cocoa processing, whatever. You only process the beans and still send it outside. You produce golden tree chocolate. I don't know whether it is produced in Ghana or what.
yeah. I think it's good.
Even if you go there, golden tree chocolate, they will tell you the chunk of their market is not here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't eat cocoa.
You know, you know.
We eat maize, we eat cassava, we eat yam, but we don't have a board for cocoa. We don't have a board for maize. We don't have a board for tomatoes. We don't have a
Yeah,
board for yam.
yeah. Even what you are saying, the chocolate. I think it was former President Kufuor ten that he made a law that instead of Valentine Day, instead of flower or what, they turn it to chocolate day.
Chocolate,
That is where some people started buying chocolate.
yes. And you see, so it was a way of at least having a twist to the market so that we benefit
Yeah,
from our own thing. Ask those people doing galamsey, extracting a lot of gold in our rivers, and ask them where do they sell it. They don't sell it in Ghana.
yeah.
It's going outside. So our economy, whatever happens here, is serving outside.
Outside.
And that was what the white man designed our economy. The white man doesn't grow potatoes in their land and bring it to Africa. No.
Yeah,
When you go to England, Britain, they do a lot of potato. Their farmers, they won't do it there and come here to sell.
yeah,
Because if they do that, they are placing their sovereignty in your hands. Your demand will tell them what they should produce.
yeah.
and they won't allow that. They will make sure they produce what they need. So we've made it now economic development. You see that the things they put in place, and two, they put taxations in place.
Yeah, of
In Ghana, there
course.
was a lampo.
Yeah,
Lampo. They calculate the amount of land you own and give you a tax,
the tax. Yeah,
head tax. They come to your family, they count the number of people in the house, and they say each person is paying 10 cedis, and your father has to go and find money to pay. So head taxes and hard taxes, Africans force Africans into wage labor to support the colonial revenue needs. When the colonial economy, if it is Britain or France, if France says that this year their revenue target is this for their infrastructure development there, their
yeah.
revenue target, they are using you as a revenue target because whatever tax they take here, the tax they were taking amongst us were sent to them.
Wow.
The bond of 1844, which we signed and made them masters over us, they were taking tax and the tax was sent to them. The tax was not taken in money.
Okay.
So in India, now India have calculated that even the British economy owes them more than 10 trillion
Wow.
because the tax they were taking them, they used the tax to buy the Indian tea and coffee there. Look at this mathematics. I'm taking tax from you every month, okay? And at the
Yeah.
end of the year, we don't spend the same currency. I can't take your money to England. It is waste. So what do? The
Yeah.
tax I take from you, I'll use it to buy your goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm robbing you to pay you. This is not robbing
Need to
Peter to pay
pay.
Paul.
Wow.
I'm robbing Peter to pay
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
So they've taken they've imposed taxes on you, take your money, pay,
Use the money to buy from you.
use the money to buy from you,
So,
and
in
ship
other
it
words,
freely,
you have worked for nothing.
Yes. So in India, they were buying spices. They were buying spices. They were buying tea, and they
Okay.
ship it freely to the European market. So somebody in Europe will buy. They will go there and sell it, all right, but they will even sell it at a very cheap price because it's not their money.
Because they got it free.
Exactly. So they were doing it in Ghana too. They were doing it in Sudan. They were doing it in the Kenya. They were doing it in Tanzania. They were doing it in Nigeria. They will tax you and use your tax to buy your own goods and send it to their home country.
Wow.
And they use it to develop there. And any profit from that sales will be supernormal profit because I got it free. Even if I sell it for
Free.
1 cedi, it's profit.
Yeah.
There's no loss in that industry.
Wow.
Wow. So you could see you see the economy they built.
Yeah. Because
So this scenario I've given
you
you, we will come back to it. We will come back that it is still
you
operating
have,
now.
yeah, you have
Maybe in
clearly
our next
made me
episode when we go
understand
to
certain
after
things.
colonialism.
You have made me understand clearly certain things I always keep wondering that because, for example, we have our own cocoa, our own
Mhm,
timber, our own gold, our own crude oil, but
mhm.
somebody will just come and the person will just tell us how much he want to pay.
Yes. You come and give
At
you
times
this
come and
amount I'll
take it
give you.
free.
Yes.
Wow.
And that person give you this amount I want to give you. The money he's even telling you to give is the amount is your money, is the money he took from you
It's your
first.
money.
Okay. And infrastructure development, I want to add this we will do this in two parts. So this is a part one.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah. We'll
add
do
some
this
things
in
more
two
so that
parts
we
because there
close.
are a lot of things we need to talk
Yes,
about.
yes. Infrastructure development. They added urbanization to it. They created an unequal society here.
Mm-hmm.
Those amongst us. Okay, let's say the places the white man used for his administration became the capitals. So you could see Lagos, you see
Yeah,
Nairobi, you see Accra, you see Dakar, Senegal, you see
yeah.
Gambia. Uh-huh. Those were the places they were using for their administration. So it
Okay,
became urban centers. That's where anybody in the village, whoever produce, brings it there to sell. Because the white man is now buying. Okay. Now, because of that, they created inequality, huge inequality. They only developed that place a bit.
yeah.
If Accra, they developed here a bit, not any serious development. They developed it to a certain level that they can at least stay
Stay
there.
there.
Remember the first introduction I did
Yeah,
for those people who won the what do you call it? The Nobel Prize.
yeah.
They developed those urban centers a bit. For roads, you could see that only Accra has better roads. All the remaining places could be turned as rural areas. They
Mm-hmm.
won't even go there. You understand?
Yeah,
For so you could see they created inequality between rural and urban areas when in even in Africa. That's how they created it. Because most of the money they were getting here was going outside. They used a small fraction for development here. And the development, they made sure they is centered on where they were doing their administration.
okay.
So in most African countries, even till now, you could see that development is still around the capital areas.
Yeah,
And those places far away from where the white man stayed hardly see any proper development. So in Ghana, the farther you move away from where the white man stayed to administer us, the less likely you will see any proper development. You studied in
yeah,
the north, so you understand what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. It's true.
You studied in the north.
In the north, and then through the research work, we have also
Yes.
traveled across the country.
Yes. So the father, everywhere in East Africa, the farther you move away from where the white man stayed, the less likely you will see any proper development. And
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those things are still enduring till now. All those things, there are still remnants of it. Not remnants, but they are still there till now. Right. So let's end today's discussion here. And
yeah, yeah. Because we have more to talk
yes, so
about.
our
Now
next
we
session,
have
maybe we
only
talk about education, we talk about
we
health,
have only talked
we
about
talk
the
about political
economic
administration.
development. Yeah,
Yeah, we
we
talk
have
about
to
the
talk about
legal aspects too.
legal aspect, political
Mhm.
aspect, education,
Yeah,
culture. We'll
yeah,
talk about those types.
yeah.
And my brother, truly, you have just educated us enough because there are certain things that I keep asking myself, but you have answered part of it as we are going. I know I'll get answers to all that I have
All the
in
answers will
our
come.
subsequent.
All the
Yeah,
answers will come.
yeah, because there
All the
are
answers will come.
certain things I think about it that I don't get it,
We
and I
really need to
know.
understand Africa. If we want to
Yeah,
change Africa, we first need
yeah,
to understand it. And
yeah,
if we understand Africa very well, our work will be halfway through because we understood where we are. This is where we are born. We have been born, and this is where we must concentrate our efforts. God didn't
exactly,
place us here
exactly,
for nothing. God placed us here
exactly,
to cause change.
exactly, and I know the one you are watching us now, you also have a lot of questions. You can put it at the comment section. Now we are learning from before colonialism. Now we are in during colonialism. Our resource person have made us understand that slave trade came after then colonialism. So now we are talking more about colonialism, the development in Africa within colonialism. Share so that other people will also get chance to watch. My brother, um,
Thank you.
do you have your last words?
Yeah, like I first said, if we want to change Africa, we first need to understand Africa.
Okay.
And God didn't place us here for just placing here. Yes, you can say we came here by chance, but at least since we are here, let's leave a mark. Let's understand Africa, where we live, where we were born, where our ancestors lived.
Yeah,
And if we understand, we will know exactly what we have to do to prosper on this land. There's much more to this land than we've seen, and we must work
exactly.
hard to improve. Thank you.
Exactly. We have to make Africa great. That is one of
Yes.
our main focus why we are doing this discussion. My brother,
Exactly.
thank you for passing through.
Thank you very much. Too.
I really learned more about this.
Thank you very much.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before